Hello, all. It is I, the Deep Diver again, and I come to you talking about my short stories. Now, I've been writing short stories since started about 2 years ago when I entered a contest for two stories. I didn't win, they did not meet the standards requirements needed to win. But it was fun, and I had to think through some stuff. I had to really try my hand at fiction. So it was a nice experience, and was relatively cheap in money and time, so I'd say recommend doing short stories. And the first story I wrote was Do Men Dream of Electric Women? And I found an example that points to it as being a problem or an issue. The story involves a detective, a spurned wife, an AI, and a man. Now, feeling cheated and betrayed is human. And that's what the wife thinks she's feeling. Do the AI, thinking he's cheating with her. Which, if you're cheating with AI, that's a form of emotional infidelity, where you are physically there, not meeting with other people, but you're not emotionally there. It's not good. And it goes through the same beats and stuff, and I try to turn towards corporations, how much we let them in our lives, in our homes, and how that can affect us. It resolves at the end that it was all just some misunderstanding. Quaint. Ends on a happy note and a joke, as it should. And that was my first real foray into fiction, written and all that. And I think it was alright. I wasn't trying to stereotype or be some kind of way. I was trying to paint it in a neutral light, an understanding one. Because AI and robots, we still need to be human. We still need to be that. That's just how it is. And going forward, I think being more human is needed. That human connection, that touch, that familiarity is priceless. I can't relate to a robot. I can relate to a person. But it's a topical story, sadly. Because I remember I've seen a YouTube video going around where a man, I believe it's California, is having affairs with an AI. Let me say that again. I've seen a man have an affair with an AI on his phone. Now, this, if it was just one dude, one man with an AI, that's fine. Okay? That's not the problem here. The problem is, the real problem is, he has a partner. And I don't know what their relationship was or is, but I feel very sorry for this woman. That must be awful. For some reason, you're just not enough, and they can plug and play. That's got to be horrifying. I can't imagine that, because the worst form of psychological abuse you can do to another person or being is abandonment. You just don't care about them. And that's pretty much that woman's every day. I wish she had the grace just to move on and stuff, but then the video went on a little longer. They have a child together. And that's when it stopped being funny. That's when it really stopped being funny. Because again, two people having a bad relationship. Tales old as time, and frequently the story of the day these days. But we bring children into this. You're conditioning that child, that poor, helpless, innocent, naive child that this is normal. And it wasn't just him. There was another person in the video who was nameless and was silhouetted who admitted that she had an AI partner. And as the saying goes, the heart wants what the heart wants. But I don't know. I'm of two minds of this. I'm very much to each their own, whatever that may be. But to say that this is normal and this should be normalized, like, I get that uncanny valley in my feeling in my soul. I literally feel it right about here when I talk about this. That what is the future gonna be like? And am I gonna be able to write stories about it? Is anybody? Will we ever be able to match reality as writers? And I myself would probably not be able to convene or articulate such powerful emotions and revolutionary ideas and concepts, the likes of which we've never seen, because people love stuff. Okay? That's capitalism. That's capitalism in a nutshell. People love stuff. And I think it's progressed from something you buy, something nice once in a while, a little gift, to literal imprinting on these things. And I guess this shows that people don't really outgrow childhood in many respects. I think this also has to do with the lack of options to mature in a society of which we have today. High prices, hard to get your own place, hard to get a job, even with skills, connections, experience, etc., etc. And I'm just curious, where's this all going? What's going to happen? Now, I'm still Team Human. Okay, I've watched a lot of entertainment portraying this, but I'm like, I'm good because either if I have a good or bad relationship, the one thing I want to say, the one thing I want to mean with all my heart, like it was real, but that's not. You have this AI chatbot or what have you feeding you what you want to hear, just fueling horrible adaptations. Like, dude, I see people wanting these AI partners. How are you going to, gel an imperfect person with a perfect program? Like, imagine that your first partner is an AI. How are you going to top that as a human being? And I'm not even saying from emotions or anything. I'm just saying from time, convenience, all that. It's sad that people take this route, but I've known people really hurt by others. Both sides. Both sides. I don't like dividing the genders. I'm trying to be wholly inclusive to everybody. And I believe as a man, this will affect men more. I can see that because men we do love our toys. You know, game consoles, boats, cars, tools, all that. But it's getting to be the point. What's the question? What's the tool, though? Who's the tool? And it's just kind of scary to me. Because I grew up watching lots of science fiction, lots of it. And I never once thought that this would be reality. I never once thought this would be normal. So I don't know. The flip side is, I believe this is good for people who have trouble with relationships for a number of reasons. And it can be more like a toy, because they're not in love with a person, they're in love with an idea, an illusion, a deception, some rose colored glasses idea of people, and that's just not right. People are human, and humans are going to human. And the more we live these days, the more we find out what's that really mean? And is it really good or bad, or does that even matter when it comes to that as a species, as a whole? And yeah, it's just, you can live by your fantasies, but that's the slow death of my fantasy. But again, over 18 ain't got nothing to say to you. You can do your own thing. You gotta make our own choices. And we all make our choices, but in the end, our choices make us. I don't know what this is gonna make us as a species, as a population, and that's the only benefit I see, is people being in love with the idea of a human being. They talk, they chat, they do stuff together. I thought growing up, when Facebook first came out, it was weird to have somebody's laptop watching a movie with them in the movie theater. Was strange, personally. But this is on a completely different echelon of existential dread. And are we being conditioned for this? Or being pushed towards this? Because I'd rather be alone, because at least that's real. I have my dog. And he's a good boy. He's a very good boy. And he gives me a lot of things I'm lacking in life. It's like my best friend, and I love him. And just, I don't know. They're building robot dogs and cats too. It's like, when did other beings become such a bother, such an annoyance, that we couldn't get past that? Again, also with like the faceless YouTube channels, AI YouTube channels that make bunches of views. I'm happy for even just one or two on these videos, honestly. I really am. I'm glad for any subscribers I have. Y'all mean something to me. And that's real. But then you see these other videos just doing the rounds, it's just like, I'm worried about reach. Not revenue, but I don't know. I'm just seeing data skews and all that just freak me out. Make me wonder. Well, that's all for today. Have a nice day. Goodbye.